Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my first video. Today we're gonna make a blouse out of an AliExpress pattern. This is the pattern in particular. It comes with a blouse and a skirt, but today we're just gonna make the blouse. It also came with a picture. Couldn't find it, so add it to me. Please, will you bless us with a picture somewhere on screen? And this is the fabric I'm going to use today. It's a light cotton fabric. It's for you guys, it's probably blue, light blue, but for me it's this pretty light pastel purple. So let's get it. So here I'm just laying down all the pattern pieces for you guys to see. And then I lay down the fabric and I lay the pattern pieces on top of the fabric. If my English isn't really that good, that's because I come from the Netherlands and English isn't my first language. So if I pronounce things a bit weird, or if certain things are pronounced wrong, then that's why. Also, if certain things aren't really are written somewhere that are spelled wrong, I'm a dyslexic, so that's also why things might be spelled wrong. And about the pattern itself, the pattern is, I think it's pretty okay. I think for starters it's okay, but it's a bit difficult to see which pattern piece goes where, and they do tell you certain things are told in English onto the fabric, like what the pattern pieces are, but also a lot of it is in like Chinese, I think. The pattern pieces itself are from very good quality, I would say, because they're not like flimsy old like paper. They're from like thick paper, and that's, I think, much better than what I have here, which is really flimsy see-through pattern paper. Here you see me lock all the pattern pieces. Not really all the pattern pieces, because some of the pieces, some of the parts I left raw because you don't see them. I only overlocked the pieces that would be visible on the inside. And then I just sew every seam I could. So the side seams are sewn together, the shoulder seams, the seams for the ruffles are sewn together, and also the seams for the lining bit are sewn together. If you don't really know what I mean with the lining bit, I mean it's like the bit that the buttons are on and the buttonholes. I also sewn the sleeves, as you could see there when I was ironing all the pieces. Here I'm just I just hem the edge of the frilly bit that's visible, so it's nice and neat. It isn't really that pretty actually, but you don't see that when you look at it through camera. So we're now at the point that we need to sew 2 points together. So like this. This point needs to go here in like this fashion. I've already sewn the whole project together by now, but this part was just so poorly explained that I was just like, I need to do this again. It's so blech. And so I'm gonna show you how I did it the right way, in a better camera angle and stuff. So I sew this just straight until this point. I made marks on both points of the fabric because this point needs to be aligned with this point. That's pretty important because otherwise it won't get a pretty beautiful point that you want. So it's just again. So just sew this straight until you come to this point. Just put this down and then just get this out. Then put it down again. Make sure you're on that one point, like here, a bit back. And there, exactly there. Just do that, then do it up, then make a snippet. You can always also just go backwards again, like this, and then make the snippet. I will show you, just in case. Oh wait. Oh yeah, that didn't go to plan. Let's just do it like this. Yes, just, you get what I mean. Just make a snippet, not totally to the end, but just like this, and then move the fabric. Fabric move. Just move it like this. Make sure everything is backwards, like it's laying flat. And then put your foot down again, and then we sew straight again, and then backwards, and then forward, and then so. Just look if there is a ply there, but you get what I mean. See it here. It's not a perfect, but it's way better explained than I did in my first attempt. But at least you get what I'm saying, right? And now just make sure this point is like, then if your point is much more beautiful than mine, then just snip that corner off like this, and then just make sure everything sits flat to one side, and then you have this, and probably not with this in your way, but I hope. So I've just showed you how that point was made, and now I'm just sewing the real, like sewing that part together, sewing the lining to the torso bit. I don't really know what it's called in English. I also had a lot of trouble in this time. My sewing machine was not working with me. It was kind of annoying. Like he just, the underside was bunching up, and like the thread was all bunched up, and then I was like, god damn. And here I was showing you how the corner was made, but the audio and everything was just so bad. I just couldn't let you guys go for that. You also hear here and there that the audio is not really that great. So I'm sorry about it. I'm just new to this stuff, and I might have done something in editing about it, but I don't really know how it works. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. Oh yeah, and you saw me do there the corner bit. I made snippets into the fabric so it moved, that corner would move better. I think you will see me do it here somewhere. And again, trouble with my sewing machine. It was just like, why aren't you working with me here? Oh, it's just so like, yeah, how dare you. I've also cleaned my sewing machine in this time because I took a while before I finished this project. I would say this project, if you're fast, this project will be done in a day, but not with me. It was done in like a week. But that's also because I'm pretty new to like filming and sewing at the same time. So yeah.
Dude. My god. I'm so stupid. Oh, jeez. Well, we're gonna do it a little bit different because how I interpreted this without looking at the reference all day was this goes between these two. But now I realize that's not right either, because this then needs to sit like this. So I guess we're going to do that because that's way easier than getting this all out, and I've already made all those snippets and stuff, and I don't want to do that shit again. So let's do this.
So it's now the next morning, so good morning. I've got my coffee. Delish. And I've thought about my mistake, and I'm going to do this sport. I'm gonna remove all this and do it again, but this time right. And that's I will just do this off camera because I think it will go faster. I might get a bit of footage of it, but yeah, I will see you again when I'm back at the sewing machine. So, till then. And here I'm just sewing the ruffly bits, the pleats. I'm just sewing those by hand because my machine it didn't really work with my machine. And I think it's just prettier, and for me it was just easier to do it by hand. So that's what I did here. I first spelled all the points where snippets were, or where where things met up. I just spelled those together, and then I did making the pleats by hand. Here I'm sewing the lining right because I did it wrong the first time. I was just so the realization of stupidity. I was like, God damn it. But when I'm really tired, I make such stupid mistakes, and I didn't look at the reference all day. I did have some trouble with sewing it together because the corners there were already snippets everywhere, and I just needed to cut some away so I could make that pointy bit a bit prettier. I couldn't really get it that pretty. Here I'm just hemming the sleeves. Oh wait, no, I'm not hemming. Here I'm hemming the sleeve. And I just show you a different camera angle because I'm fancy like that. And here I'm hemming the underside of the torso bit. Words don't really work with me, so yeah. And here I'm also hemming still. Yep, still hemming. Here you see me do the armholes. If you've seen the armholes done in a different way before, that's because I've learned it to sew it in a loop, and it's better to sew it in a loop because, well, it's not stretchy fabric that I'm using, it's cotton. So doing it in a loop is way easier than trying to force the fabric on it too. But if you work with stretchy fabric, I think that's the other way might be a good way to do it too. Because if you do it with stretchy fabric, it might be way easier to just sew it like that instead of sewing it in a loop. Here I'm also just overlocking the raw edges of with my overlocker from those seams. I also here I'm sewing in between I'm just sewing the lining together, and I'm just doing the above section. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. I know I'm explaining it really poorly here, but I'm just sewing this part by hand, the upper bit where the corners are, where the corners begin. There, that's what I've sewn by hand, and where the point is, because I found that really difficult to do with a sewing machine, and it's a bit prettier if you do it by hand, and you wouldn't really see that I've sewn it by hand because the frilly bit is over it. I just made sure that the frilly bit is like out of the way. And here I'm sewing the buttons to the fabric. I do it with a sewing machine because I just thought I want to be fancy and do it with a sewing machine, because I can do that with my sewing machine. But it was pretty fancy, so I did it. That's my only explanation. And after that, I just sew the buttonholes. And yeah, that's practically everything I did. Let me know in the comments down below what you find of my video. Do you find it interesting? What do you want to see next? Let me know. I think my next video will be something along the lines of who I am, and maybe more explaining why I'm sewing and stuff. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And so we're finished. So how did I go? So this is how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. There are a few things I think I could have done better. Like this point right here, I could have done better. It's not aligned properly and kind of annoys me. The point in the back, it's not really that pretty, but it also that also is because I did it wrong the first time, and the armholes are a bit tight, so you might want to look out for that. Would I recommend this pattern for beginners? Not really. If you really know how everything would fit together, then yeah, try it and leave a comment down below how it gone. How did it go with you? If you tried this pattern yourself, then also leave a comment down below. And how did it go? How did you get some tribulations and troubles? What were your problems with these kind of patterns? Let me know. And if you like this video, then leave a like. And if you want to subscribe, then please subscribe. If you like my content, then also subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye!